Yep.
But while I'm alert, what else is going on, buddy? What do you got to bring to the table? I did my SNL rant. I was done after the SNL rant because then it was just sleepy eyes.
Shit. I don't know. I'm getting sleepy now just fucking doing all the sleep talk. I don't know. I did watch about half of the new, what is that, Netflix Weinstein movie, Adam Sandler thing.
Oh, Merowith Stories?
Yeah, I watched about half of it so far.
Yes. Wait, what? Because I know you had some internet issues or whatever. How'd you end up watching it? Do you use Wi-Fi or something?
No, I just stayed up late enough to where they give me free internet instead of data-capped internet.
Oh, I got you. So then you cranked it up.
Yeah,
like
I watched about
last night.
Yeah, I watched about an hour of it. I think it's close to 2-hour movie or something like that. So
for those that don't know, this movie's called The Merowith Stories, New and Untold, or something like that in parentheses. And it's a Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Dustin Hoffman movie. Essentially, they're the three main characters of the whole film. And I thought it was pretty fucking brilliant. And they made these neat tricks in the editing where they would cut scenes off in the middle of people's words. Did you notice that repetitive thing that they were doing?
Not yet, no.
Oh, okay. It's pretty cool. But so what's your quick take off an hour of seeing? It's a Netflix original, guys. It's only on Netflix.
It's pretty just basic, boring. It feels like an hour of character development so far. Getting to know everybody.
It is a character study. It's not a film as much as a character study.
Well, because the thing is,
so it's essentially 2 hours of that.
So like the first 30 minutes or however long is Dustin Hoffman and Adam Sandler kind of reuniting. That's his son talking, doing things. And then it switches over to Dustin Hoffman and his other son, Ben Stiller, kind of doing things, going to lunch. And that's as far as I've really gotten. So I don't know. Really, the average film does this in the first 10 minutes. Like, here's the people and here's what they are. Now let's shake it up. But I feel like it's just one long act one so far.
Well, there is no act, I guess you would call it, if you want to call that act one Sandler, act one Stiller, then act two would be Hoffman, Stiller, Sandler together.
Right. So I assume that's going to happen.
Not really like,
and we're going to mix it up.
Yeah.
Characters are going to be challenged with something, and then act three will resolve whatever that challenge is.
Yeah, I guess it's not that simple. Like, I think it's more like basic. Like, I think it's really basically a character study. Like, it's not really, it's about watching them interact with each other and their dialogue. It's not really about like some arcing story. You know what I'm saying? There's no story arc really to it.
So none of the characters change. They're still just what they started at the beginning, and it's literally just following them around while they have crappy conversations.
I mean, I guess you would say they changed somewhat, but like
there's no revelation, there's no change of opinion. They just start off arguing.
Not huge.
They argue in the middle, and then they end arguing, and that's the whole film.
I mean, I'd say there's very modest development, maybe modest character development, but it's on the edges. Because really what it's about is just watching these three people kind of dialogue. That's basically what the movie is. 90% of the movie's dialogue between these three characters.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have to have a Michael Bay explosion, but like to see a character change, to see a resolution to the end of the story. I don't know where. I don't even know what the problem in the story is.
The only character that really has a full arc is Sandler.
See, I was going to say that this whole film's set up upon Dustin Hoffman because he's the only consistent character so far. And so, therefore, he's got to be the one.
He does not change at all. His character is his character. Old man, asshole man. That character doesn't change for fuck's sakes at all. It is level. Top to bottom, the whole movie. Oh. But I don't know what it is about Hoffman.
I'm looking this up right now, and I just read the twist. I read the second act.
Well, the dad goes into a coma for a period of time.
Well, the whole film, he's talking about every time he talks to somebody, he's like, "Where'd you get that bruise?" It was like, "Oh, the dog he chased the thing. I bumped my head." Well, it turns out he gave himself a concussion and got a tumor, or not a tumor, like a blood clot from it.
Well, it's interesting though. So the
whole time you're watching him, that's not him. That's a head injury.
Well, what's weird though is, so let's say he recovers, right? He recovers at the end of the movie, and yet when he recovers, he literally doesn't change at all. It's the same guy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to ruin it too much. I'll probably watch a little bit more of it tonight, but
yeah.
It just,
so for me, what was great about the movie was just there literally could have been the movie could have been one diner scene with no ups or downs. Just watching Hoffman and Stiller and Sandler play off of each other in those character roles was so enormously gratifying to me. And Hoffman especially, like, he was the best part of like anything Hoffman's in, I love him. Like in The Cobbler, I love The Cobbler as a movie. My favorite parts of that movie is when Hoffman was involved. The way he says things is so.
Who was Hoffman
He
in
has
that movie?
great comedic.
The dad?
He was the cobbler that later on passed the shoes to Sandler. Like, hey, you're the new cobbler now. He was the guy next door. He was the barber. He was the one next door to the cobbler. Or whatever.
The mentor or whatever.
Magic shoes guy or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I vaguely remember that film.
But anytime Hoffman's on the screen, he just lights it up. And he has this crazy, for a guy that is not a comedian, he's just a really good actor. He has insanely good comic timing, like great comic timing. Like the scene, I know you saw this scene where they're at the diner together. It's Ben Stiller and Dustin Hoffman, and the guy keeps putting things on the table.
Yeah.
And so then he keeps saying randomly, like, I'm going to punch him in the nose. I'm going to punch him in the nose. And then he sets the glass of wine and he grabs it, drinks the guy's wine and goes, this is my protest.
Yeah. Well, that's a running theme too for him. He keeps telling everybody. Anytime he wants to be an asshole, he tells everybody that's like, dude, stop doing that. Oh, this is my protest.
It's very fucking, I thought it was funny as hell. But I would say this. So even this, I would guess, let's say you finish the whole movie and even then it's not your cup of tea because it's essentially just a long character study without a great arc. Would you say that it held your interest in a way?
Oh, no, it's a fine film.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think I don't like character studies. It's fine, but every story has a 3-act structure, essentially, in this country.
Yeah. They're not reinventing the wheel. I get what you're saying. It's not like they've completely reinvented the wheel. It's that it's such moderate changes that I could see how people would think it was just a boring fuck movie without much of a plot.
Right.
Because there are minor, and most of the big changes
that's what I'm saying too.
On Adam Sandler's side.
How do you have a movie that doesn't have like an overarching theme to it or like event, and then like call it a character study? It's nothing but a character study, but also the character doesn't develop. There is nothing that changes through the film. You got to have something. Something has to like evolve. Yeah,
and I'd say that's probably why Adam Sandler is so key to the film, because he's the if there is a moving chess piece to it, he's the moving chess piece.
Okay.
And so it's almost a movie more about him and how he reacts to the external circumstances than it is about anybody else. But there's a lot of really funny stuff in between. But anyway, I'm glad you watched it. Meyerowitz Stories, I would highly advise anybody, if they want to see Adam Sandler not being a character, like, oh, I'm Sandy Wexler or anything like that, you should definitely watch it because it's probably like close to kind of who Adam Sandler would be as like a real person or whatever. So it makes him more relatable. He's more relatable as an actor in it. And for some reason, it never worked. It works better for Sandler than it did Jim Carrey. Every time Jim Carrey tried to be dramatic, it didn't quite work well for me. I didn't think.
No?
I mean, he was great as Andy Kaufman.
Well, that was.
But then, like, the Truman Show wasn't that.
No, I did not like the Truman Show. I did like 23. The story kind of sucked, but his acting carried the film.
I need to rewatch that one. I got that DVR'd. I need to rewatch it.
I'm trying to think of another one of his where he was serious.
Well, he did this one called The Majestic.
Yeah, I never saw that one. It looked too much like the Truman Show to me, so I didn't even try it.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all. And then he did the one where he's gay. I Love You, Philip Morris. He did that one, but that one was like with Ewan McGregor. Him and Ewan McGregor were prisoners. But no, like Jim Carrey just never quite pulled it off the same way. Will Ferrell's another one of those guys that's surprisingly in a dramatic role good, like in that
Everything Must Go.
Everything Must Go.
I really like that movie.
Love that movie, dude. I fucking love that movie.
But that wasn't a straight drama or anything.
No, it was more like one of those Steve Carell dramedies.
Yeah.
Meaning there's like comedy mixed in. It's a comic portrayal, but it also involves more serious undertones or whatever.
Yeah. And then what was the other one he did?
Ferrell?
Yeah, he did one like
Stranger Than Fiction.
Yes, that was really good. I really love that movie.
Dude, I've watched that movie like 100 times. I love it. That's the one where like it's being narrated as he's like in his, and he's trying to figure out, am I in a comedy? Am I in a tragedy? Yeah, Dustin Hoffman's in that one too.
He responds to the narrator.
Yeah, I forgot. Dustin Hoffman is in that one as too. He's the English professor that he goes to see who explains to him like how to determine what story he's in.
Okay.
And Queen Latifah's in that as well. She's really good.
I'm so bad at this game. At the beginning of this, I would have said I've never seen a Dustin Hoffman film.
You know what? You should look up. Let's fuck it. At this point, I'm awake, but I don't want this to become our fucking recurring bit again. But I'm curious if you can hit his like just highlights of the Dustin Hoffman career on IMDb.
Yeah, I've already got it pulled up here. That's what I'm looking at.
He's got Hook. Obviously, everybody knows him as Hook. He was so fucking good at that.
So he starts off, his first film is in 1967 called The Tiger Makes Out. I have no clue. Then The Graduate. Let's see.
I didn't like that movie that much, dude. Did you like The Graduate?
Never seen it.
Okay, it was not as good as people claim. It won all these awards, but really it's just about an old lady who fucks a young kid. There's not much to it other than that.
But I mean, the topic in 1967 was probably pretty taboo. And
no, that's probably why it won all those awards, because they're like, what? This old lady's fucking a young kid? You know, wow.
The Magdagen's Millions premiere, or that's a TV show. Midnight Cowboy. He plays Ratso.
Oh, that was a fucking good movie. Weird, though, because he's a pimp for John Voight, Angelina Jolie's dad.
Right.
So he's like pimping out a dude.
Yeah.
In New York City.
The best part about that film is that they didn't get permits to film in New York at all. They just did it like incognito.
Oh, that was a guerrilla shot film? That was a true guerrilla movie?
Not the whole thing. Everything that was shot on the streets of New York.
So that famous scene with the Harry Chapin song where it's like, everybody's talking at me, and they're just walking up and down the streets, that was completely illegal?
Yeah.
There was no permits for that?
A perfect example of it, the big story everybody talks about, there's a scene, or they're crossing the street and a cab almost hits Dustin Hoffman's character, Ratso, without losing, or like skipping a beat. He slams on the car, he's like, hey, I'm walking here. Completely ad-libbed.
I remember that scene.
Because they weren't filming a movie, you know, there was no permits. The cabbie almost ran over Dustin Hoffman, and that was his response.
It's a fucking A, dude. He's such a goddamn good actor. He just stayed in character.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Little Big Man. Who is Harry Kellerman, and why is he saying those terrible things about me? Straw Dogs, Alfredo, Papillion, Lenny, All the President's Men, Marathon Man, Straight Time, Agatha.
See, this is kind of Lorraine of like the 70s and 80s, where he did a lot of, I don't know 70s movies that well still. I've got a lot of catching up to do in the 70s.
Kramer versus Kramer, Tootsie. I know that was a huge one for him.
Tootsie was fucking great, dude.
Again, never seen it, but.
Oh, you never saw Tootsie?
No.
Fuck, dude. Tootsie was like prior to the Miss Doubtfire style of like dude in a dress, Joanna Man, all those.
He was a dude in a dress. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was like, it was like one of the original dudes in a dress. And Bill Murray is his roommate in that. Bill Murray's fucking hilarious. And I grew up watching as a kid. God damn, did I split my sides laughing at Tootsie.
Oh, there you go.
Cannot believe you haven't seen Tootsie. Oh, you got to watch Tootsie.
Then he does
so good.
He does Ishtar. He does Rain Man, which I just watched this weekend again. That's a good film. It just
great movie, right?
I don't know. It has that old style pacing.
I'm a good driver.
Like if somebody re-edited it, it'd be much better. But yeah, I like it. It's fine.
Oh, where the thing where there's like a 12-minute wedding scene?
Yeah, they just walk down the road for 5 minutes while an entire song or two plays out. It's just why? Why do we need to do this? But anyway.
Yeah, you always know that's a mistake when there's two songs that play. When there's a monologue and they read their montage segment, but you hear two songs play.
Yeah,
that's too many. Well, it was really him who made that movie. I would guess the movie was more like about just watching Dustin Hoffman be a badass actor, right? Like it was.
Well, it's both of them. He's not like.
So Tom Cruise is pretty good in it as well.
Tom Cruise plays an asshole very well.
Yeah, might be because he is an asshole.
Well, even like in the growth he has over it. So first act, he's a raging asshole. Then second act, he meets his brother, and he like begins to care for him. By the time the third act, he stands up for him, and you know, like it's a good arc for somebody who plays an asshole so well.
Now, Dustin Hoffman in this movie, he's not like a mental disorder. He's like just autistic, or what is he? What's his thing?
I mean, he's severely autistic. I can't remember exactly what they call it.
Yeah,
but essentially, I mean, he's incapacitated by his autism.
Yeah.
So he was staying in a home. Like the thing is, like the brother. God, fucking front tooth. What's his? Mission Impossible. God damn it! It's right there. Tom Cruise didn't even know he had a brother. His father dies. All the money of the estate, like $10 million or whatever, goes to the brother, and he tracks him down. He's like, "Who the hell are you? Why you my money? Holy shit, you're my brother! I didn't know I had a brother." And then he kidnaps him, so that the like institute he's staying at will sign over the money. It's literally like kidnapping in a ransom. But through that, he falls in love with his brother.
Fucking hey, dude.
Going on, he played Ishtar, Rain Man, Family Business. Dick Tracy, he played Mumbles.
Hey, great role. He was great as Mumbles. He was phenomenal as Mumbles.
Then we go on to play something called Billy Bathgate. No clue. Hook.
Wait. Can I make one thing about Billy Bathgate? Well, I'll never forget that movie. Full Frontal, Nicole Kidman. I remember that as a child. That was a Skinamax late night favorite of mine. When you would see GN, you knew you were in for a treat. And in the terms of Billy Bathgate, not only is it a great gangsta movie, good 1930s gangsta movie, it involves some GN, which involves Full Frontal.
When you say GN,
Kidman.
Are you hinting towards Nash? Or
no, GN used to stand for graphic nudity in the Skinamax days.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say vagina without saying it.
Because they would always they would put SSC, that meant strong sexual content. If you saw an SSC and a GN, buckle up, motherfucker. If you saw a BN, not worth watching the movie for.
Right on.
Because a BN is a brief nudity. And we all know a brief nudity is usually Kevin Costner ass.
Yeah, somebody's
or
butt.
one Molly Ringwald titty.
Just
Only
like side
one.
tit. Yeah.
You side tit, exactly. No one wants side tit. No one wants man buns. We want Full Frontal Nicole Kidman Bush. And you got it in spades in Billy Bathgate. So much Full Frontal Nicole Kidman. Amazing.
All right. So from there, he jumps over to Hook, then Hero, then one of my favorites, Outbreak. Love that film.
Oh, fuck, dude. I forgot about that movie. I fucking forgot about that. That's where I learned monkeys give everybody AIDS.
That's not what that movie's about. But okay.
Cuba Gooding, that was when Cuba was well respected, right? Cuba was
I think that's when he was just starting. Like that's when he was making his up and comings.
Because you had up and comings. I love that. You had Dustin Hoffman, Renee Russo back when she was a hottie, and Cuba.
And what's his name? Guy that narrates everything. Batman's butler.
Alfred.
Yeah, but the guy
Michael Caine.
Okay, his scientist guy. What's Mr. Freckles, old guy that reads all the books. Best voice ever.
Jeremy Irons.
Oh, god damn it.
I don't know.
Okay, keep going. I will figure this out on my own.
All right, continue.
Okay, it's gonna be hard for me to figure it out on my own while.
Oh, okay, well, I'll talk about Outbreak then.
There you go.
This is what I remember about Outbreak. I remember Outbreak was about a fuck crazy monkey that ran around, gave everybody Ebola, and then they realized, oh shit, the Ebola is spreading in the United States. You get Dustin Hoffman flying down with Cuba.
Morgan
with
Freeman.
Russo.
Morgan motherfucking Freeman.
Morgan motherfucking Freeman. He was never Alfred, my friend.
No, but he was in the Batman. He was the guy that like built the Bat car and shit.
Lucius or whatever his name was. Yeah. Morgan fuck Freeman. You're right. Morgan fuck Freeman was in that. Wow, what a movie. I got to go watch Outbreak again.
Oh, it's great.
Fuck, man. And I remember being like more scared as a child watching it, or a middle-aged person or whatever it was, like a tween. Whenever I saw it, I remember it being scarier than a horror film because it felt so realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt like, I know that The Shining's not going to show up in my bedroom, but how do I know some fucking AIDS monkey doesn't show up and start giving everybody the Ebola AIDS? Next thing you know, you're fucking dying like Dustin Hoffman because your suit had a little sliver hole in it, you know?
Okay, you took a whole different thing away from that movie than I did when I was a kid.
What did you take away from it?
Don't fuck with monkeys.
That's the same rule.
Nope. You're talking about like cowering in fear in your bedroom because a monkey's going to show up. I'm saying like, yes. I just don't go fuck around with monkeys.
Well, easiest way to not fuck around with monkeys
is always think monkeys are coming to get you.
Yeah.
Two different stories there.
All right. It was a scary movie. Scared the fuck out of me growing up.
Yeah. Anyway.
So there was Outbreak.
So he goes on to Sleepers, American Buffalo, Mad City, Wag the Dog, Sphere. Sphere is pretty good. Messenger, Story of Joan of Arc, Moonlight Mile, Confidence.
This fucker did a lot of movies, bro.
Dude, on average, he probably does about 2 to 3 a year.
In a weird way, though, they're all real movies. They're not like Nicolas Cage level.
Well,
you know
he does like 2 crap or 2 I've never heard of, and then 1 killer one every year or 2.
But I bet the 2 we've never heard of are still like studio films.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're very good films.
They're just
not classics. I mean, when you're talking about a guy who has 10, 15 classic films under his belt, obviously there's some that aren't going to be memorable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But so Runaway Jury, Finding Neverland, I Heart Huckabees, Meet the Fockers, Series of Unfortunate Events.
I Heart Huckabees, by the way, for anybody that hasn't watched a crazy weird, you want to talk about interesting narratives that don't quite make sense? I Heart Huckabees is one of the most interesting films I've ever seen. I had to watch it like 5 times before I even knew kind of what the fuck was going on. It is about existentialism. It is insanely hard to grasp what that movie's about. And Dustin Hoffman is phenomenal in it. He plays like an existential therapist. And his whole thing throughout the movie, he hits himself in the face with a balloon over and over again to make himself realize he's alive. It's fucking such a good movie, dude. Have you ever seen I Heart Huckabees? I'm just curious if you've even seen it.
Yeah, I've watched it probably 2 to 3 times over the years.
Did you get it?
No, I did not get that. I thought it was just a story of a fucked up family.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was curious if it even, like the first time I watched it, I felt like I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Like I couldn't figure it out at all. And then I kind of gave up on it for a while. And then somebody told me, no, dude, it's great. Go back and do it again. So I watched it again, realized, okay, there's more to this movie. Still don't quite get it. Had to watch it a third time and then read about it before I even had an idea of what they were trying to accomplish with it. Such a fucking weird, great movie.
Well,
I tell everybody to go watch it.
You go a lot deeper into films, like just like that example there. You know, all the time you'll watch it 5 times, and then you'll watch a day worth of YouTube videos, have people explain it to you and reading about it and all that.
If I think there's something to it, definitely.
I just watch it and move on, whatever. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain. Dude, that fucked me up for a while. I spent 3 days thinking about that movie. But anyway, keep going.
So we're Meet the Fockers, a series of unfortunate events. Racing Stripes, The Lost City, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I'll say this, by the way. That Meet the Fockers, the biggest mistake of his career. All right, continue.
Well, it probably made him a pretty penny. We jumped.
No, but Meet the Fockers, Meet the Little Fockers. That was what I'm talking about, where people should have told SNL, go fuck yourself. Meet the Fockers was essentially... I remember when I saw Meet the Parents.
Cash grab. No,
it's a fucking cash grab.
Yeah.
I gave up on Robert De Niro as soon as I saw Meet the Parents. I said, "Oh,
that movie bought him another airplane." I mean, good on him.
No, I get it, but it's like he was the guy of our time. He was the greatest at what he did, and he shit all over his career. All right, I digress.
Stranger Than Fiction, The Holiday, Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, Kung Fu Panda, The Belonging, Last Chance Harvey, Kung Fu Panda, Secrets of the Furious 5, A Tale of Despero, Barney's Version, Kung Fu Panda Holiday Special, Little Fockers, Kung Fu Panda 2, Kung Fu Panda Secrets of the Masters.
I'm not going to lie. I never saw Little Fockers. Did you?
No, I've never seen any of the Fokker movies.
You never saw Meet the Parents even?
Nope.
God damn. Dude, it's a fucking great movie.
Weren't you literally just shitting on it?
I was shitting on De Niro for being in it.
Oh, but
the movie itself
Hoffman's
is
great.
fucking, the first one is hilarious.
No,
no, Stiller, Owen Wilson, all the supporting cast. Dude, it's so fucking
I've seen
funny,
bits
the
and
first
parts
one.
of it, but I've never sat down and watched the whole thing, so.
I watched it in the theater with my mom, and we just shit our pants laughing.
I hope that's completely honest.
Yeah, I hope that's literally, we sat there and stacked piles and piles and piles of shit up next to each other.
So we're almost done here real fast. Yeah. He did a movie Chef, Boy Choir, The Cobbler, The Program, another Kung Fu Panda movie, and then the Merowitz story.
So there were probably more in there than you realized, right? That you knew that you had seen him in?
Well, I know he's been in a lot of these. Now, I couldn't have named them off like that, but a handful like Rain Man I didn't think about, Dick Tracy I didn't think about, Hook I didn't think about, you know.
What a career. What a stellar career this guy's had. You know what I'm saying? To be chucking up home runs still at that run. What a fucking run he had. Amazing.